Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the City of Belleville Committee of Adjustment meeting for Thursday, November the 18th. And my name is Brian Miller and I will be the chair today. Our first item is disclosure of pecuniary interest by anyone. And does anyone have an issue with any of the applications today?
Yes, I'd like to address B/21/21.
Is that South John?
No, it's, well, I hope it's not. It's Highway 62.
Okay. Carol, okay. Anyone else? Okay, duly noted. Thank you very much. Okay, our first application today is for minor variance and consent at A3621 and B2021 48 South John Street, and the owner is Brandon Defoe. And Andrew, you can give us an update on what's happening there.
Certainly. Give me a second.
There we
So my screen should be available to you guys now.
Yep.
So an application has been submitted for the above noted application, a consent and minor variance. The subject land is zoned R21 and is developed with a single detached dwelling. The applicant proposes to create a new residential lot north of the existing dwelling and recognize the remaining lot frontage on the severed parcel as compliant. The existing dwelling has an enclosed porch, as noted in the image on the PowerPoint. To ensure that the retained parcel will comply with zoning, the removal of this porch has been included as a condition of consent. And I believe Brandon is in the meeting, as well as Jennifer Matthews as his agent. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Jennifer, are you there? Or Brandon? Jennifer, have you joined us?
Keith Watts is the president.
I think they have to be admitted by Mark or whoever's standing in for Mark today.
Yeah. Donnie? There's Jennifer.
Hello?
Jennifer, yes, you joined us.
This is not Jennifer, it's Keith Watson.
Okay.
You might
Change your name.
recognize the difference in voices.
Okay, Keith, do you have any comments?
But basically, I'm here to support the application, and if you read the planning report, it obviously satisfies the 4 points for minor variance. And the house they're planning to build will fit into the neighborhood, and it's going to create a smaller home, and hopefully that'll be a more affordable home. So that's fits in with the provincial policy to intensify our downtown core. So I'm asking the committee to please approve this application.
Okay. Brandon's not with us today.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Watson? Okay, Carol,
I'll make a motion to approve it.
and seconded by Susan. All in favor? Carried, thank you.
Thank
Our
you.
next application is for a minor variance and consent, and it's 17 Lywood Drive, and the owner is Catherine and Tyler Carter. And
You want to?
I don't.
is someone here to speak to this? Andrew, you can maybe give us an update first.
Sure. Kitty is just getting into the meeting, but I will certainly explain the application. Just seeing if that will do it. Perfect. So a minor variance application has been submitted for this property. It's zoned R2 in the Thurlow bylaw and has a single detached dwelling. The application requests relief to increase the allowable lot coverage for accessory buildings, as well as the maximum height of the accessory building. Generally, this will facilitate the construction of a 92.5 square meter accessory building consisting of a garage and a personal workshop, and the relocation of the existing shed on the property. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Is Kate, I guess, is she with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, yep. Do you have any additional comments?
No, just echoing what Andrew was saying, that it'll be in our backyard. It won't impede on any privacy, and we back onto farmland.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Carter? Bill? You're on mute.
Thank you, through the chair to Ms. Carter. So on the schematic, it shows a future pool. Should it also indicate the fencing around that pool?
I don't know if Andrew's answering that. He's got his hand up.
He's got his, yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, through the chair. I believe the owners have already applied for that pool right before they applied for the accessory building. That pool has been, will need to comply with the Ontario Building Code for being fenced in. But it's not in construction yet. I don't know if they have been issued a permit yet, but it has been given planning approval. Not there yet, but it's undergoing the building permit process.
Okay, thanks, Andrew.
So we have been issued a permit, and we do have fencing. It's our back fence that backs onto the farm that needs to be raised, but we haven't started putting the pool in. The fence will be raised in the back first.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns, comments? Glenn?
No, I just wanted to mention, I mean, essentially the property immediately north has a layout that's almost identical to what they're proposing. So it fits with the neighborhood as well. So with that in mind, if nobody else has any other comments, I'll move this for approval.
Okay, moved by, seconded by Bill. All in favor? Thank you. Carried. Okay, our next application is A3821 55 Harriet Street, and the owner is United Way of Hastings and Prince Edward. And Andrew, you can give us the scoop on this.
Certainly, Mr. Chair. So a minor variance application has been submitted for the property. The subject land is zoned M1 zone and has a non-complying building with the existing deficient east yard setback. The applicant is requesting relief to reduce the side yard setback for an accessibility ramp to 6 meters, while the current zone category would require around 11.6 meters. Staff has recommended to increase the allowable projection into the side yard, which will result in the same allowable setback. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there anyone from United Way with us today to comment, or from Task Force?
Yeah, I'm Hillary Murphy with Task Force.
Okay.
And yeah, essentially the reason for the application and the installation of the ramp is currently the United Way building is accessible at the ground level. However, their boardroom and meeting space is a half story above the ground level. And they received grant funding to essentially provide accessibility to that level, which resulted in the application for the installation of the ramp. So it's to provide accessibility to that space within the United Way building.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Carol? Jeannie?
Yes. As a member of the Accessibility Committee, I would strongly support this. I think it's a very good idea to make as many buildings as we can to be accessible to anyone who needs accessibility. So I support it.
Was that, were you making the motion?
Sure.
Oh, okay. I make a motion that we accept this application.
Okay, and a seconder is Robert. All in favor of approval? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Hillary. Okay, our next application is a minor variance and consent A3921, B2221, 7 and 15 Aldersgate Drive. And Andrew, you're it.
Certainly. A minor variance and consent application has been submitted for the property. The subject land is developed with an apartment building and several townhouse buildings. and were rezoned in 2017 as a condition of consent to recognize the existing form of development as well as the future development shown in color on the slide. So the consent application had since lapsed, and the applicant has intended to reapply for the same consent application in 2017, and also cover any additional zoning deficiencies that weren't initially covered by the rezoning. The zoning relief includes the new lot frontage for 7 Aldersgate Drive for the zone that will abut the cobblestone street. The distance between townhouse dwellings and to permit access through different boundary zones, as well as add a portion of the lands from over and establish an access easement as shown in blue. Staff was contacted by a local member of the public. I received a call and they were wondering how the construction would work, and whether or not the primary access for the construction and the development would be through Cobblestone Street. I believe Sean had sent his regrets, but we have Catherine Tran from RFA to speak on the application. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Catherine, your comments, please.
I have reviewed the staff report and concur with the staff's recommendation, and I'm here to answer any questions anyone has.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Catherine? Okay, is there anyone from the general public that wish to comment? I'll take that as a no. So if there's not any further questions or comments, then we look for a motion by Sue Smith to approve, seconded by Chris Ripley, and all in favor of approval? Carried, thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, our next application for consent, B2121 7614 Highway 62. The owners are Stan and Carolyn Dafo. And Andrew, Carol, I guess you're on this one. Go ahead, Andrew.
Certainly, I'm just making sure I don't share the wrong screen.
Okay.
So a consent application has been submitted for the property. The subject land is zoned development zone and hazard. Just down south of the aerial image, there is a single detached dwelling with a few accessory buildings. So the applicant has proposed to create a new rural residential lot on the northwest corner of the subject lands. The rezoning of the property, the rezoning of the property, a drainage plan, and a hydrogeological study have been included as conditions of consent. Staff was also contacted a member of public who is wishing to speak on the application, but I don't seem to see him attending.
Hello, yes, Andrew, I'm here.
All right, I know I'm just seeing if I had any other notes. And well, no, that's it for me. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Dafo, you are the present owner of that property?
I am, yes.
Okay. Do you have any additional questions, comments?
Don't think so. I think Andrew mentioned that that there is a bit of a hazard area there. So we have done a survey and met the Quinte conservation requirements for that. The MTO has been contacted. There's an existing entrance off of Frankfurt Road. So we'll take advantage of that. And the MTO has already approved that entrance. So we don't see any major concerns.
Okay. Andrew, you mentioned that there was some member of the general public that wanted to comment on this application.
Yeah, his first name, I I don't see him in the meeting.
Okay,
I didn't receive anything in writing, even though I advised to do so if it was against or for it. But I was just scouring through my email to see if I had received anything. I haven't received further contact.
okay, thank you. Any further comment, Mr. Dafo?
Mm,
For our son.
Sorry.
Any further
No,
comment?
no, just basically looking at a residential lot here, which
Okay,
which
any
blends in
questions?
with-
Sorry, is there any questions for Mr. Dafo? Bill?
Yeah, through the chair, Mr. Dafo, you'd mentioned that you had received some information from MTO and they didn't have any concerns with the property abutting Highway 62. How long ago was that?
my wife and I are trying to figure it out. We think it's about 4 years. We actually,
Okay, so-
the city of Belleville actually put an entrance in, and we checked with MTO before we put the entrance in. So it had been approved at that time by the MTO.
Okay, so my question then is for Andrew. As part of the severance agreement, do we require documentation from MTO in order for us to be in a position to approve it?
So any building permit or entrance will need to go through the Ministry of Transportation. So if following the consent and rezoning, they would have to still approach MTO for a land use and building permit. We were forwarded correspondence regarding the existing entrance, in which they said they can utilize it, but they wouldn't be able to add a new entrance.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, concerns, comments? Okay, if not, then motion by Bill, seconded by Chris, all in favor? Carried, thank you. So that concludes that part of our meeting. General business, confirmation of our minutes of October 14th. Red?
I can approve those.
Chris moved it, seconded by Carol Merrill. All in favor? Okay, our other business, just a comment, deferred application for Holman Road remains on hold with Quinte Conservation because they're still looking into that. And I see that 149 Deniers Road, which we approved before, that application has been withdrawn. Is that correct, Andrew?
Greg, I wasn't sure if that was if they've retracted it or not.
Yeah, they have requested that it be withdrawn. They received confirmation later on that a hydrogeological study would be necessary for part of future applications, and they determined that they did not want to proceed with it.
That was went to zoning, did it? Is that what they wanted in the zoning?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Just a couple other comments. Our next meeting is the last one for the end of the year. So if anyone has any expenses to submit to Greg for travel, they can do it maybe after our next meeting before the end of December. And I don't know if Sue Bartlett is here, but Greg, there's probably lots of documents that we need to sign again. So I just wondered if Sue could set that up and send us an email when it was convenient to do so, and we can all drop in and sign our life away.
Brian?
Yep.
There's an email here from Paneet Gupta saying, "Dear committee members and secretary, can you please accommodate me?"
That
That
meeting's been
meeting's over.
adjourned, Carol.
That
That
meeting's
Yeah,
meeting's
no, I
adjourned.
know that. I was just bringing it to everybody's attention.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saw the comment. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that someone, Greg or Andrew, can respond to him and tell him the meeting was over and the decision has been made, I guess. Okay, is there anything else for the good of the company? As they say, our next meeting is December 16th at 3:30. If not, then we need a motion to adjourn.
I will do that.
Sue Smith, Carol Feeney, thank you very much.
Goodbye.